Alrighty, guys. Rubiana and Eileen. These characters both have different purposes. I'm using a similar weapon on each of them. There's a little bit more pen on Rubiana's. Where's my... Okay, whatever. I don't want to grab my other necklace. I'll change my equipment on each of them. Some reason. So I'll just change the equipment after. Rubiana's job skill is Majesty. For 300 seconds, she gets 1 AR, bonus 1000 SP, casting time reduction. She has a self buff here, Oral Shield. For 60 seconds, she gets 1 AR, 12 pen, 360 lightning damage, and 10% chance of inflicting golden circle mark. Her first skill, Oral Shock. It will always cast her debuff on the enemy. Her debuff makes her do bonus damage. As you can see there, her accuracy is a bit low, so her damage is a little bit off. Her second damage skill, Oral Shabelle. The damage on it's about 3,000. She got about 5 million damage there with her skill. Her skill right here is Sharp Spear. This is her most damaging skill. As you see here, I'm hitting about 2.5 to a little bit under 3 mil per hit. I would say that that's pretty good for what she's got on right here. Her final skill, Lespina, hit about 7 mil there. Now remember, she does bonus damage when her mark's on, and it lasts about 15 seconds, is it? Oh, 20 seconds. So her debuff is 20 seconds after she has a skill cast. I'll respawn this so I can do like a little DPS test of about a minute. And then I'll show Eileen. Alright, Demon. I'm on the magic page. I don't think my magic page is the best possible page you could make for her. I'll wait till her skills up. She works very good with Refresh Mind characters like Amelia. So, this skill right here always inflicts Golden Mark. This one always inflicts Golden Mark. This one does not. So, to start off with DPS, you always want to use E or T. So, you know, get the Oral Shabelle, start casting her next skill. You can usually do about 50 million burst, I think, after all of her skills, because her E will come back up. Yeah, and then cast the skill there. Yeah, she does about 50 million burst with the gear I've got on her, and her auto attacks are not that bad either. Let me show you. I actually had cast here. Her buff 4 off here. So she's hitting about 300 300k a second with her autos. If this debuff goes on the guy, I believe she goes up a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, it's not gonna be a game changer. Now let's show Eileen. I'll just keep this stuff on her. So Eileen's gear is going to be a little bit better than what Rubiana had on her. I'm just going for a general comparison between characters. It's not an exact DPS comparison. So there's one thing you'll notice. This skill right here, no duration. It lasts forever. Very good for AFK. The first skill from Eileen, Storm Blitz. She makes these little orbs. She can summon 3 of them at a time. Her debuff is different. Eileen is a more PvP character than Rubiana, but she does have some PvE uses. Right here, as you can see, her DPS on autos is way better, even when all these orbs aren't over here. If I bring these orbs over here, it would actually go up even higher. It would stop for a second. So her spacebar DPS is far above the pad version of her. Her buff on herself here gives her defense instead of AR. She still gets penetration, but she does not get any AR. Hearing is actually not on her. I should be hitting about 1 million per second on her, I think. If I have all this stuff on right. I got my pet on. Oh, I don't have my pet on. That would explain why my accuracy is so low. I usually use Elephant Pet and then turn this on. She's hitting about a little over 1 million per second. That's really good on spacebar for a magic character. And I don't even have the optimal accessories on her. I'm just using this lightning plus 5 and lightning plus 7. The best accessories to use on the Eileen and Rubiana would be if you're using the artifacts that give 30 accuracy and 5 penetration. So let's go and show what her skills do here. So, her first skill right here, 2.4 million, not bad. Now I'll go and do her next skill here. That's doing only 1.4. So this skill does about half of what Rubiana does because of this debuff. Let me explain the difference in this debuff. So Eileen's does bonus damage based on max HP, but this doesn't work in PvE while Rubiana's does. Rubiana's is based on her own SP, and she does bonus damage. Eileen's does not actually work properly in PvE. Her final skill here, 3.6. Did I not have her debuff on when I did that? Let me refresh that. Oh, I have a problem here. I did not level up her skills. I also leveled them up wrong. I would recommend not leveling up Storm Blitz. Okay. A little bit of a issue. I'll go fix those, but okay. So this skill right here, 3.2 damage here. What's up? While I wait. So her auto attack damage is far superior to Rubiana's, but her overall skill damage is far weaker, as you can see. So let's go and see, let's give her a refresh mind. Let's kind of see what she can do with a little burst. She's actually overall wearing better stuff than her little sister over there. That skill actually does less damage per second than Auto's. This skill will do more. The skills are basically the same, if you're wondering why I didn't really go over them. They're pretty much the exact same except for Storm Blitz. I'm actually a huge fan of the Storm Blitz. So to get about 50 million damage, it takes a bit longer with Eileen. There are the people who would try to say that Eileen was better DPS long-term than Rubiana. I tested using the same exact gear on each of them. I could not find that to be the case. It is true, after Rubiana uses her burst, Eileen will be doing more damage, but the burst from Rubiana does so much damage that Eileen can't catch up to that burst during Rubiana's downtime, where she's doing less damage. So let's actually see something here. I wonder how much I can get these Storm Blitz damage to do. They're doing 22k a hit. Let me resummon this, and then I'll have 3 of them going at once when it starts, and just see what the DPS of these guys is. So the DPS on those things is actually pretty insane. Like, they're actually doing about 250k a second, it looks like. Oh. Okay, they're doing about 150k. That's actually pretty impressive for something that's continuing on the whole time you're on there. Let me, forgot about those. So, they have problems where their skills knock each other out of. Yeah, see, you can't really do the same DPS and the same Scarecrow because they cancel each other's skills, because Scarecrows are not a boss. They can be knocked down. Their knockdown is instant, getting back up, but yeah, like, you can't actually do 2 people skilling at the same time. So, what I'll have to do is put Rubiana over here. The little souls are actually making this impossible. Eileen could just always do this skill because she'll always get her debuff on anyways. So that is one little advantage here. So you'll see like moments right here where my Eileen would probably be a little bit ahead of her for a split second or close to her, but then you cast this skill off again, and then Rubiana goes flying past her. And like that's kind of how this works. I'm actually wearing a Will of Argus on my Eileen. She is getting a little bit less penetration, but I have these on 0 defense anyways. But I'm wearing better stuff. I don't have perfect stuff on. I didn't have my elephant. I have tested them on Scarecrow over DPS 1 minute, and Rubiana wins like one and then the other using the exact same gear. All of these benefits here I'm giving to Eileen. Her attack's going way higher because I've got a Will of Argus. We've got full int accessories. I have my Stir necklace on some reason. Yeah, like 40. They're both 40. 42. They're both about the same damage on these. The Tyrant actually has reduced attack. I will state she's 329 at +7. This is 322 at +6. But because it's +6, it's kind of, fair. I tested originally with my human bracelet, which was this one. I tested them both on this. Rubiana will always do more damage than Eileen, no matter what, but Eileen is pretty good, and Eileen has spacebar damage, and you can't downplay the spacebar damage. Spacebar damage is actually insane. Rubiana's spacebar is not terrible, but it's not good. Dude, this is a 4-hit cycle stance for Eileen, and this is a 3-hit cycle for Rubiana, and Eileen gets a little bit more damage. Eileen can wear leather. Rubiana can only wear robe. Oh, I also have a attack artifact on Eileen, and a penetration one on Rubiana. So for Scarecrows, when I'm setting out at 0, that was another benefit for Eileen. But yeah, I have tested them with the same gear. Don't worry, I'm not just saying this is the equal comparison. I just don't feel like changing my gear. The comparisons between the two characters are this. You get extra DR on Eileen. I'm actually 2 because this is only +6. You'll wear leather, so you'll get more defense. They get pretty similar penetration. I have a ring on Rubiana, so that's another thing that's unfair. I tested them both with 1 ring and with 0 rings. I don't have the ring for Mind Steal, which would give an extra AR for Eileen, but on 0 defense targets, it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, you'll get 1 AR more on Rubiana. I get 2 because I don't have the ring, and you get 1 DR more on Eileen. Eileen is much better PvP, much worse PvE. They're both good at PvE, but Rubiana has an edge. Rubiana is a cash shop character, so it's pretty expected that she's going to be better at some things. There's characters like Code L, where the cash shop version is kind of objectively better in every way than the normal version, but these characters actually have trade-offs. I like the idea of this, kind of like Judith. The cash shop Judith is better PvP, and the normal Judith is better PvE. This is pretty much the same as this, except for it's the opposite. The rare version, Rubiana, is actually better PvE. These characters are both pretty much the best characters you can get right now for PvE, for magic damage. I would say for solo raids, 10 out of 10. These characters are both insane. Eileen gets a 9 out of 10. Her damage is about the same as Joshua. She's amazing. Honestly, she would have been seen as OP if Rubiana just didn't outclass her. But because of how far Rubiana is ahead, 9 out of 10 for Eileen. 10 out of 10 Rubiana for solo raids. Now for team raids, field bosses, 10 out of 10 Rubiana. Again, 9 out of 10 Eileen. There is actually something where Rubiana does way better than Eileen on field bosses that you want killed instantly. Rubiana is burst damage, Eileen is sustained damage. While their damage per second is it's pretty similar. Like, I'd say Rubiana probably hits about 25% more overall, which is substantial, but it's not like hitting 2 times more. The burst damage from Rubiana is literally more than double. She will do more than double the damage initially. That is an insane number from this skill right here. Sharp Sphere versus Sharp Lightning. Even though Sharp Sphere's got the same like multiplier, it's just you don't get the bonus damage from Eileen's golden circle mark. Or Rubiana's golden circle mark. The black cross mark is just inferior. There is a nerf coming to Rubiana and a buff coming to Eileen as far as I know. So Eileen might actually take some sort of an edge in some situations. But in burst damage, which is when you get your initial skill off, it's no contest. Let me show you this. I would recommend everybody get both of these characters. Eileen is very hard to get because she's from the last... Is this on? Yes. So, Rubiana, put on your demon thing. So she hit 30 million damage on that right there with that first skill there. In pretty short time. Like the skill, like 10 seconds about. She hit about 3 million per second there. And I don't even have my elephant puff up. I don't have any of my food on. Like that's just straight up here. Now, Eileen hit about 17. Now, she does have an advantage with the weapons I have on her. So, she'd probably be hitting about 15 with the same. So, you get what I mean? The burst damage is halved. After that initial burst, Eileen has good spacebar damage, so she can actually make up for some of this. Like, see how good this... Look at that. Like, look at this. She's catching up. Like, she'd catch up so quick. But by the time she catches up, then Rubiana's about ready to cast her skills again. And then Rubiana skyrockets past her again. So, like, there'll be kind of like an edge where Eileen might be... Like, Rubiana's damage kind of goes like this shape. Like, it'll go a straight up line, flat, up, over, up. And then Eileen's is just kind of a straight up line. And there's kind of situations where she gets close to her. But then every time you get to those burst moments, Rubiana just skyrockets past her. So, like, Eileen's good, but she's not Rubiana good. The burst damage is more important when you're doing field things where you need to do as much damage as possible. It's more protectable for invulnerable. Something a lot of people do with Rubiana. When she's doing her bursting, you cast invulnerable, you do your skill here. You can't get knocked out of it unless somebody has an ignore invulnerable skill. That's very helpful. I don't even have principal on now. Just realized buff's wearing off. But whatever. Like, you can't do that as well with Eileen. You can do it, but it doesn't... You don't get that huge burst moment. Burst damage is more important than sustained damage. And the sustained damage is already lower anyways. So that's actually it's actually a problem. But even with that, Eileen is still great. I'm not going to say she's dead. For PvP, these characters do damage, but their skills have cast times. I would say maybe 7 out of 10 for Eileen, and 6 out of 10 for Rubiana. These characters are not great.
갈게.
This skill is really the only one that I've actually like seen get great
이쪽이야.
use. Like you do this skill here, kill a bunch of stuff. It's not great. Sorry about itching my eye. I'm a little tired.
갈게.
So mass PvP is what I was saying there. 1 MCC PvP 6.5 Eileen, 5.5 Rubiana. They're PvP limited. They are top tier, best characters in the game for PvE for magic damage. I'm going to specify magic damage. There are raids where physical damage is better, and there are raids where magic damage is better. You can't compare Doom to Rubiana in overall damage per second. Doom will beat Rubiana in overall damage. But many bosses have high defense versus their resist. Where Rubiana can get very high immunity to get through their resistances. Like 155-ish with no elephant pet. You can get even higher. I don't have the perfect sockets. Like, yeah, this is... You could probably get about 165-ish, I think. Maybe a little more if you had Harmonious set bonus. You'd get bonus 10. So, yeah, like 170 for endgame content. I also will note that I have plus 1 int. I just realized I did not actually finish chipping these. I was in a hurry when I bought those rings and I never finished them. These are good artifacts if you're cheap and poor. The Elite Jealousy of Duke Rose. The best ring... No, those are the Doom ones. No, it's not ring. It's the ones that give accuracy. Okay, locket. Clover locket is ridiculous. 30 accuracy. Rubiana's got low accuracy. She really needs more of it. My hair's a mess right now, I know. Oh, Eagle Eye Rocket is the best artifact you can get. It gives 5 penetration, 30 accuracy. If I had those artifacts, I would do a lot more. That costs 500 shiny Solarian. That is expensive. Many people cannot afford that, so they just end up getting a cheaper artifact, such as Elite Jealousy of Duke Rose, Jealousy of the Old Duke Rose, or the one that's in between that gives plus 7 penetration. Now, yes, this artifact is good, this artifact's good, but I would recommend high-end players get the good artifacts. Low-end players who don't do competitive stuff, they're fine with the cheaper artifacts. The 30 accuracy artifact is probably good too. That's not actually that bad. So, you need 100 royal insignia, I guess. That is actually pretty bad. Yeah, that is actually expensive. So yeah, that accuracy artifact is ridiculously expensive. Don't bother with that unless you have money to waste. These artifacts are fine. I get around with them. I am working on getting better artifacts. But yeah, both must-have characters. I would recommend getting both of them. 2 Rubiana is better than Rubiana plus Eileen. But for people who can't afford or don't want to buy 2 of the same character, I use this team for my characters. Now, Rubiana has a fan, Eileen has a dagger. Don't ask why she has a dagger when they don't use their weapons. You actually see their weapon floating in the balls
이 몸의
above them.
분량이냐?
I don't know what that is. Just whatever. Yep, that's it for this video.